lively town surrounded by rolling hills, there stood a bustling circus known as the Friendship Circle Circus. It was a magical place where performers of all kinds came together to entertain and delight audiences with their dazzling acts. At the heart of the circus was a group of animals who were the best of friends. There was Benny the bear, known for his strength and bravery, Lily the rabbit, whose agility knew no bounds, and Sammy the elephant, whose gentle nature charmed all who met him. One sunny day, as the circus prepared for its grand performance, a new performer arrived in town. It was a shy giraffe named Grace, her long neck craning nervously as she surveyed the bustling scene before her. Feeling overwhelmed by the hustle and bustle of the circus, Grace stood off to the side, unsure of how to join in the fun. But Benny, Lily, and Sammy noticed her hesitation and knew they had to help. "Come join us, Grace," called out Lily, her ears twitching with excitement. "We're a family here at the Friendship Circle Circus, and we'd love to have you be a part of it." With a hesitant smile, Grace stepped forward, her heart filled with gratitude for the warm welcome. And as she joined Benny, Lily, and Sammy in their preparations for the performance, she felt a sense of belonging she had never known before. As the circus began, the Friendship Circle Circus came alive with the sound of laughter and applause. Lily dazzled the audience with her graceful leaps and spins, while Sammy delighted them with his clever tricks. But as Grace stepped into the spotlight for the first time, her legs trembling with nerves, she feared she wouldn't be able to live up to the expectations of the crowd. But then, she felt a gentle nudge from Benny, a reassuring smile from Lily, and a comforting pat on the back from Sammy. With their encouragement, Grace found the courage to perform, her long neck reaching for the sky as she twirled and danced with grace and elegance. And as the audience erupted into cheers and applause, Grace knew that she had found not only a place in the circus, but also true friends who would always be there to support her. As the curtain fell on the Friendship Circle Circus, the animals gathered together in a circle, their hearts full of gratitude for the friendship and love they shared. And as they looked out at the smiling faces of the audience, they knew that no matter where life took them, they would always have each other and the magic of the Friendship Circle Circus to guide them. In a charming village nestled between emerald hills and winding streams, there lived a group of friends named Mia, Leo, and Ava. They were inseparable, spending their days exploring the lush forests and playing by the bubbling brooks. One sunny afternoon, as Mia, Leo, and Ava sat beneath the shade of a towering oak tree, they stumbled upon a dusty old chest hidden among the roots. With curiosity piqued, they opened the chest to find a treasure trove of colorful beads and sparkling gemstones. Eyes wide with wonder, the friends gathered the beads and gemstones, their imaginations running wild with possibilities. Leo picked up a handful of beads and held them up to the sunlight, marveling at their beauty. "We could make bracelets," he exclaimed, his voice tinged with excitement. Ava clapped her hands in delight. "That's a wonderful idea," she exclaimed. "We could each make a bracelet to remind us of our friendship." With eager hands, Mia, Leo, and Ava set to work, stringing the beads onto thin strands of twine. their laughter filling the air as they worked side by side. They chose beads of every color of the rainbow, each one representing a cherished memory they had shared together. As they finished their bracelets, Mia, Leo, and Ava admired their handiwork, their hearts swelling with pride. "These bracelets will remind us of the bond we share," said Mia, her voice soft but full of emotion. Leo nodded in agreement. "No matter where life takes us, we will always be connected by our friendship," he said. With their bracelets clasped firmly around their wrists, Mia, Leo, and Ava set off on a grand adventure, their spirits soaring with excitement. They explored hidden caves and climbed to the tops of towering mountains, their friendship growing stronger with each passing moment. But as the sun began to set and the shadows lengthened, Mia, Leo, and Ava found themselves lost in the dense forest, their hearts pounding with fear. Just when they feared they would never find their way home, Ava's bracelet began to glow with a soft, golden light, illuminating the path before them. With Ava leading the way, they followed the glowing light through the forest until at last they emerged into the clearing of their village. With a sigh of relief, Mia, Leo, and Ava embraced each other tightly, their bracelets shimmering in the moonlight. "Our friendship has guided us home," said Leo, his voice filled with gratitude. And as they walked hand in hand through the village, Mia, Leo, and Ava knew that no matter what challenges they faced, they would always have each other and the magic of their bracelet bonanza to light the way. Once upon a time, in a quaint little town nestled among rolling hills, there was a magical place known as the Friendship Garden. It was a place where colorful flowers bloomed, butterflies danced, and laughter filled the air. In this garden, there lived 3 best friends: Lily the rabbit, Max the bear, and Rosie the squirrel. They spent their days playing hide and seek among the flowers, chasing butterflies through the meadows, and sharing secrets under the shade of the old oak tree. One sunny morning, as Lily, Max, and Rosie frolicked in the garden, they stumbled upon a mysterious path hidden behind a tangle of vines. With curious hearts and adventurous spirits, they decided to follow the path and see where it led. As they journeyed deeper into the garden, they encountered all sorts of wonders. A babbling brook lined with pebbles, a grove of cherry trees heavy with ripe fruit, and a field of daisies as far as the eye could see. But just as they were beginning to lose themselves in the beauty of the garden, they heard a faint cry for help echoing through the trees. Without hesitation, Lily, Max, and Rosie followed the sound until they came upon a small bird trapped in a thicket of thorns. With gentle hands and kind hearts, they worked together to free the bird from its tangled prison. And as it soared into the sky with a joyful chirp, Lily, Max, and Rosie knew they had made a new friend. Grateful for their help, the bird led them deeper into the garden, where they stumbled upon a hidden glen filled with sparkling waterfalls and colorful blooms. It was a place of wonder and magic, where the air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers and the sound of laughter echoed through the trees. As they explored the glen, Lily, Max, and Rosie realized that true friendship was not just about having fun and going on adventures. It was about helping those in need, sharing moments of joy and laughter, and always being there for each other, no matter what. And as they made their way back home to the Friendship Garden, their hearts overflowing with love and gratitude, Lily, Max, and Rosie knew that their friendship was the greatest adventure of all. For in the garden of friendship, they had found a bond that would last a lifetime. A bond as strong and beautiful as the flowers that bloomed there. In a quaint village nestled between two hills, there lay a serene river flowing gently beneath the warm sun. On one side of the river lived a group of animals, while on the other side lived a colony of birds. They were neighbors, but had never truly connected until one day, the river that separated them began to overflow its banks. As the water rose, the animals and birds realized they needed to come together to find a solution. They gathered at the river's edge, discussing how they could bridge the gap and help each other. Felix the fox suggested building a bridge to connect their two communities. "If we work together, we can create a bridge of bonds," he declared. The animals and birds agreed and set to work gathering materials for the bridge. They collected sturdy branches, colorful feathers, and soft leaves, weaving them together to create a beautiful bridge that stretched across the river. As they worked side by side, the animals and birds began to talk and share stories. They discovered they had more in common than they realized and found joy in each other's company. Once the bridge was complete, the animals and birds crossed over to the other side, exploring each other's homes and learning about their different ways of life. They laughed and played together, forming new friendships and bonds that would last a lifetime. But their newfound unity was put to the test when a fierce storm swept through the village, threatening to destroy the bridge they had worked so hard to build. As the wind howled and the rain poured down, the animals and birds rushed to reinforce the bridge, bracing it against the powerful currents of the river. With their combined strength and determination, they were able to withstand the storm, saving the bridge from destruction. As the sun rose the next morning, casting a golden glow over the village, the animals and birds gathered on the bridge, grateful for the bonds of friendship they had formed. They realized that the bridge was more than just a physical connection. It was a symbol of their unity and cooperation, a testament to the power of coming together in times of need. And as they looked out at the river flowing beneath them, they knew that as long as they stood united, they could overcome any obstacle that came their way. For they had built not just a bridge of wood and leaves, but a bridge of bonds that would carry them through any storm. Once upon a time, in a vibrant meadow where wildflowers danced in the breeze and butterflies fluttered among the trees, there lived a group of animal friends. Sammy, the squirrel, Bella, the bunny, and Tommy, the turtle. They were inseparable, spending their days playing games and going on adventures together. One sunny morning, as they lounged beneath the shade of their favorite oak tree, Sammy suggested they embark on a friendship fun journey. "Let's explore the meadow and see what wonders we can find," he exclaimed, his eyes shining with excitement. Bella and Tommy eagerly agreed, and so they set off on their journey, their hearts filled with anticipation and joy. Along the way, they encountered all sorts of marvels. A sparkling stream where fish leaped joyfully, a field of daisies swaying in the gentle breeze, and a majestic oak tree that reached for the sky. As they journeyed deeper into the meadow, they stumbled upon a hidden glade filled with colorful balloons and ribbons fluttering in the wind. "What a magical place!" exclaimed Bella, her eyes wide with wonder. But their joy was short-lived when they noticed a group of animals huddled in the corner of the glade, their faces filled with sadness. "What's wrong?" asked Tommy, his voice filled with concern. The animals explained that they had been planning a celebration, but had run out of balloons and ribbons. Without them, their party would be ruined, and they feared they would disappoint their friends. Without hesitation, Sammy, Bella, and Tommy sprang into action, gathering balloons and ribbons from the surrounding trees and bushes. With laughter and teamwork, they decorated the glade until it sparkled like a rainbow. As the animals watched in amazement, Sammy, Bella, and Tommy smiled proudly, their hearts filled with happiness. "Now your celebration can go on," exclaimed Bella, her eyes shining with joy. The animals hugged their new friends tightly, grateful for their kindness and generosity. And as the party began, the meadow echoed with laughter and music, the animals dancing and playing with abandon. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the meadow, Sammy, Bella, and Tommy knew that their friendship fun journey had been a success. For they had not only discovered new wonders, but also learned the true meaning of friendship, sharing joy, spreading kindness, and making memories that would last a lifetime. Once upon a time, in a lush, green valley, there stood a magnificent garden filled with the most beautiful flowers imaginable. Each flower had its unique color, shape, and fragrance, making the garden a breathtaking sight to behold. In this garden, there lived 3 best friends: Lily, the lavender, Rose, the rose, and Daisy, the daisy. They grew up side by side, sharing their hopes, dreams, and secrets under the warm sun. One bright morning, as they danced in the gentle breeze, they noticed a tiny bud nestled among the petals of a nearby tulip. The bud looked sad and lonely, its colors muted and its petals drooping. Concerned for their fellow flower, Lily, Rose, and Daisy approached the tulip and asked what was wrong. The tulip explained that it felt out of place among the other flowers, its colors too dull and its petals too plain. With empathy and kindness, Lily, Rose, and Daisy reassured the tulip that it was just as beautiful and special as any other flower in the garden. They encouraged it to embrace its uniqueness and celebrate its own beauty. Inspired by their words, the tulip began to bloom, its colors vibrant and its petals standing tall. As it blossomed, it brought a new sense of joy and wonder to the garden, its beauty shining bright for all to see. But their friendship was put to the test when a fierce storm swept through the valley, threatening to destroy the garden and everything in it. As the wind howled and the rain poured down, Lily, Rose, Daisy, and the tulip huddled together, their petals trembling with fear. But through their courage and determination, they stood strong against the storm, supporting each other and weathering the chaos together. When the storm finally passed and the sun emerged from behind the clouds, the garden was left battered but not broken. And amidst the ruins, Lily, Rose, Daisy, and the tulip stood tall, their friendship stronger than ever before. As they looked out at the garden, now bathed in the golden light of the sun, Lily, Rose, Daisy, and the tulip knew that their bonds were like the roots that anchored them to the earth, strong, resilient, and unbreakable. And as they danced in the warm breeze, their petals shimmering with newfound strength and beauty, they knew that together they could overcome any challenge and weather any storm. For in the garden of friendship, their bonds would always blossom and thrive, filling the world with love, joy, and endless possibilities. Once upon a time, in a vibrant forest filled with towering trees and babbling brooks, there lived 3 inseparable friends: Milo, the monkey; Lily, the lion cub; and Benny, the bear cub. They spent their days exploring the forest, chasing fireflies, and playing hide and seek among the trees. One sunny morning, as they frolicked in a meadow filled with wildflowers, Milo suggested they embark on a grand adventure along the Together Forever trail. It's said that whoever travels this trail together will be friends forever, Milo exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Lily and Benny eagerly agreed, and so they set off on their journey, their hearts filled with anticipation and joy. Along the trail, they encountered all sorts of wonders: a sparkling waterfall where colorful birds bathed, a grove of cherry trees heavy with ripe fruit, and a field of sunflowers swaying in the breeze. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, they stumbled upon a steep hill that blocked their path. "How will we ever climb this hill?" asked Lily, her voice tinged with worry. But Milo smiled reassuringly. "Together, we can do anything," he said, his voice filled with confidence. With their spirits lifted, Milo, Lily, and Benny worked together to climb the hill, encouraging each other every step of the way. And when they reached the top, they were rewarded with a breathtaking view of the forest stretching out before them, bathed in the warm glow of the afternoon sun. But their journey was not without challenges. Along the way, they encountered a raging river that blocked their path and a dense thicket of thorns that seemed impossible to navigate. But through their friendship and teamwork, they were able to overcome every obstacle, helping each other and supporting each other every step of the way. As they reached the end of the Together Forever trail, Milo, Lily, and Benny looked out at the forest, their hearts filled with gratitude and joy. For they knew that no matter where life took them, they would always have each other and the memories of their grand adventure along the Together Forever trail. And as they hugged each other tightly, they made a vow to always stand by each other's side, to laugh together, to cry together, and to journey through life together, forever and always. For in the forest of friendship, their bonds were stronger than any obstacle, and their love was as enduring as the trees that stood tall around them. In a quiet corner of a bustling city, there lay a serene park known as Patience Park. Its winding paths were lined with towering trees and colorful flowers, and its tranquil ponds shimmered in the sunlight, offering a peaceful retreat from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. One sunny afternoon, a group of friends gathered in Patience Park for a picnic. Among them were Lily the rabbit, Max the bear, and Rosie the squirrel, each eager to spend the day playing and exploring. As they settled down on a patch of soft grass, Max's eyes lit up with excitement. "Let's play a game of tag," he exclaimed, his voice booming with enthusiasm. But before Max could take off running, Lily held up a paw. "Wait, Max," she said gently. "Let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of Patience Park and enjoy each other's company." Max's shoulders slumped in disappointment, but he nodded in agreement. "You're right, Lily," he said. "Sometimes it's important to slow down and enjoy the moment." And so, the friends spent the afternoon strolling through Patience Park, admiring the colorful flowers and listening to the birdsong. They sat by the edge of the pond, watching as the fish darted gracefully through the water, and laughed as a family of ducks waddled by in a neat row. As the sun began to set and the shadows lengthened, Max's patience began to wear thin. "I'm bored," he grumbled, his voice tinged with frustration. "I want to play a game." But Lily and Rosie exchanged a knowing glance. "Patience, Max," said Rosie, her voice calm and soothing. "Good things come to those who wait." Max sighed deeply and settled back against the grass, his eyes fixed on the sky above. And as he watched the clouds drift lazily overhead, he felt a sense of peace wash over him. He realized that sometimes the most beautiful moments were the ones that unfolded slowly, like a flower blooming in the sunlight. And so, as the stars began to twinkle in the evening sky, Max learned the valuable lesson of patience. He realized that true friendship meant being willing to wait for the right moment, even when it seemed like time was standing still. And as he bid farewell to Patience Park and its serene beauty, Max knew that he would always carry the memory of that peaceful afternoon in his heart, a reminder that sometimes the greatest adventures were the ones that took time to unfold. In a vibrant meadow nestled between rolling hills and babbling brooks, there flourished a garden known as the Generous Gardens. Its flowers bloomed in a kaleidoscope of colors, and its fruits and vegetables grew plentifully, offering nourishment to all who visited. One sunny morning, a curious bunny named Benny hopped into the Generous Gardens, his nose twitching with excitement. He had heard tales of the garden's bounty and wanted to see it for himself. As Benny explored the garden, he came across a wise old sunflower named Sophia, who greeted him with a warm smile. "Welcome to the Generous Gardens, young one," said Sophia, her petals glowing with kindness. "What brings you here today?" Benny looked around at the colorful blooms and ripe fruits, his eyes wide with wonder. "I've heard that this garden is a place of abundance and generosity," he said. "I wanted to see it for myself." Sophia nodded knowingly. "Indeed, the Generous Gardens is a special place," she said. "But its true magic lies in the power of generosity." With that, Sophia gestured toward a row of tomato plants, their branches heavy with plump, red fruit. "These plants are a symbol of generosity," she explained. "They give freely of their bounty, sharing their fruits with all who visit the garden." Benny listened intently, his heart swelling with curiosity. "But how can I be generous like the plants?" he asked. Sophia smiled kindly. "Generosity begins with a simple act of kindness," she said. "When you share what you have with others, you'll find that your heart is full of joy and abundance." With Sophia's guidance, Benny spent the day exploring the generous gardens and sharing its bounty with those in need. He picked ripe strawberries for the birds, plucked fresh vegetables for the rabbits, and gathered fragrant flowers for the bees. As the sun began to set over the horizon, Benny felt a sense of fulfillment wash over him. He looked around at the plants of the generous gardens, their leaves rustling gently in the evening breeze, and he knew that he was truly blessed to be a part of such a magical place. And as he bid farewell to the generous gardens and its wise inhabitants, Benny carried with him the lesson of generosity, knowing that no matter where life took him, he would always have the power to share his abundance with others and spread joy and kindness wherever he went. Once upon a time, in a charming coastal town, there stood a majestic lighthouse known as the Loyalty Lighthouse. Its towering frame stretched high into the sky, guiding ships safely to shore with its bright beacon of light. At the heart of the Loyalty Lighthouse lived a faithful seagull named Gus. He had been the guardian of the lighthouse for as long as anyone could remember, his wings strong and his heart steadfast. One stormy night, as the waves crashed against the rocks and the wind howled through the air, Gus noticed a tiny boat struggling to stay afloat in the raging sea. Inside the boat was a young dolphin named Dolly, her eyes wide with fear as she fought against the powerful currents. Without hesitation, Gus spread his wings and soared into the storm, his heart filled with determination to save his friend. He swooped down toward the water and grasped Dolly's fin in his beak, guiding her safely to the shore. As they reached the safety of the shore, Dolly collapsed on the sand, her body trembling with exhaustion. But Gus remained by her side, his eyes filled with concern and compassion. "Thank you, Gus," gasped Dolly, her voice weak but grateful. "You saved my life." Gus nodded solemnly. "It was my pleasure, Dolly," he said. "True loyalty means standing by your friends, even in the face of danger." From that day on, Gus and Dolly became inseparable friends, their bond stronger than ever. They spent their days exploring the coastline and playing in the surf, their laughter echoing across the waves. But as the years passed, the Loyalty Lighthouse began to show signs of age, its once bright light growing dim and its beams flickering with uncertainty. The townsfolk worried that soon the lighthouse would no longer be able to guide ships safely to shore. Determined to save their beloved lighthouse, Gus and Dolly rallied the other animals of the sea, from the wise old turtles to the playful seals, and together they worked tirelessly to repair the aging structure. Through long days and sleepless nights, they patched up the cracks in the walls, replaced the broken glass in the lantern, and polished the brass until it shone like gold. And when they were finished, the Loyalty Lighthouse stood tall and proud once more, its light blazing brightly across the sea. As the ships returned safely to port, the townsfolk cheered and applauded, grateful for the loyalty and dedication of their animal friends. And high above them, perched on the highest tower of the Loyalty Lighthouse, stood Gus and Dolly, their hearts filled with pride and joy. For they knew that true loyalty was more than just a word. It was a beacon of hope that guided them through even the darkest of storms. And as long as they stood together, they knew that their friendship would shine as brightly as the light of the Loyalty Lighthouse for all to see.